What's up everybody, welcome back to another Heroclix video. We are in the final portion of the War of the Realms set review. We're going to look at the OP kit figure as well as the Fast Forces / starter set. I have 5 figures here. They're all going to be like the lower point ones because I think all of these have multiple point values and some of them actually have different dials. But for strictly competitive purposes, obviously the lower point, more efficient stuff is better. So let's start with the OP kit play at home. This is the Thor number 100. We're looking at the 50 point dial. Again, like I always say when it comes to the recruiter stuff, depending on what kind of recruiter effects or what kind of figures come out later on, especially if they're lower point value and they have a lot of nice little effects that they can do when they come in and they're, you don't give up that many points. The recruiter could be really, really strong, as we all know right now with the Wendigo and Doctor Strange thing. So this Thor at 50 points, he's only 4 range, he flies, he's got charge and he goes to sidestep, and then quake, and then invuln to toughness, and then close combat expert in the back. Values are all solid. I mean, he's doing 4 damage. If he's attacking, he's doing 4 damage or 5 all the way through his dial except for the top click. So he can charge and there, get hit, and then do his thing. As Guardian Deity Warrior, sure, but really we're looking at the recruiter part because for 50 points, although this guy's a beater, he could go down quickly. It's just that, if you're going to be using him as a recruiter, maybe he might be good. Like I said, we don't know because his recruiter's for Asgardians. And with a lot of the Retaliator guys that are Asgardian, he could be good. Because if you're looking at Silver and Bronze, you're looking at either like Frost Giants and Surters, stuff like that. Those could be really strong, especially if you're calling in a Retaliator to retaliate, and then they're just permanent. They don't have, they don't leave. So this is something to look at. Definitely 50 points might be a little high, but if you can get like a Surtur that, they have no defense, that's really strong. Okay, moving on. Now we're on the Fast Forces. We're looking at Black Widow. This is the 25 point version. Wild card, 4 range, 2 bolts. 4 clicks with stealth up top, and then on the back it's poison reflexes with empower up top. Avengers, martial artist, shield spy, all solid. 25 points, 4 clicks. Solid stats. She's not going to be attacking that much because she only does 2 damage, but as a support piece with empower, and then if she copies shield, she can pump the shield. If she copies Hydra, she can make their defense go down. She has poison if they get close, reflexes. You could do much worse for this 25 points, especially if you want to use these specific keywords to try to bump up your theme count or maybe ID character count. And there is also an option for you to call her in as an ID, but you probably wouldn't do that. But empower, cheap, not bad. Like I said, if you're going to be using her, it has to be for a specific reason, like maybe empower, or you need that cheap wild card. Okay, this next one is Black Panther, number 25 points, 3 range. Stealth on the front and the back, blades or super senses, and then outwit on the front and the back. This is very similar to that Infinity Challenge Black Panther that a lot of people were playing for 27 points. It had outwit on the top click only, but 25 point outwit with stealth, and if you hit him for 2, he's going to get blades, super senses. Not bad. Avengers Ruler Wakanda Warrior. Again, if you want to use cheap outwit for one of these keywords for your theme, you could do much worse. Outwit for a ruler, for those ruler teams, warrior, Avengers. Also, he is 25 points for an ID call-in. So in silver, there are a lot of Alpha Strike teams. There's gonna be a lot different, all forms. And one of the ways to defend against an Alpha Strike is to barrier up. Well, the inspiration from Black Panther is barrier, and most of the time you don't want to be wasting you don't want to be wasting your high point guys calling in so that they so that you're tokening them just to barrier, or at least using them to call in a guy, unless you're using it to attack. So he's only 25 points, which means your 25-point guy can call in this guy, and then your other 2 guys can barrier or whatever. Or, you know, let's say you have like Mary Jane, and she makes the paparazzi, makes 2 of them. You call this guy in, they have autonomous barrier. It's pretty solid. So that's you know, it's something to look at. 25 points, because you know he's not very expensive. And if you know, he goes down, the call in has 25 points, not too bad. Okay, the next one is Loki. Fast forces again, obviously. 4 clicks, 25 points. Majestix team ability, 6 range. I think this guy's actually pretty solid. Phase in the front and the back, and then Prob on the front and the back, and then Pen Blast ESD for some offensive capabilities. Of the 3 so far that we've seen from the fast forces, I mean, this guy does 3 damage straight up. The others don't. Of course, Panther has blades, so he could do more. But just straight up on damage, this Loki has 3 damage for the first 2 clicks with an 11 attack. That's not bad. As Guardian Deity Mystical, again, 25-point prob with a Majestix team ability for on theme for Asgardian Deity Mystical. That's really strong. Phase 11 attack 3. You know, I think this guy's really good for his points, because we're getting a lot of cheap support powers, and the cheaper that they're getting, the lower the points are getting, but the offensive efficiency on their part is staying the same, so it's not getting worse. So as the points are dropping, like he's done 25, he can still do 11 for 3/6 range, not bad. And then of course Majestix if they hit him. So again, you could do much worse, but another one of those guys that could just, you know, randomly be good with, you know, if you really wanted to use the Recruiter's Range to bring this guy in too. That's the thing. All right, and the last one is Enchantress. Again, 25 points, Majestix team ability, 2 bolts, 6 range, as Guardian Mystical, and she has 2 support powers, TK and Outwit. Clearly, you're not going to be attacking with her almost ever, unless she gets hit on the last 2 clicks, because she has mind control there with 2 bolts. But TK Outwit for on theme for like Mystical that's really strong. She can, you know, TK your attackers, she can TK objects back, and then she can Outwit after, so you can carry her and then she can Outwit. And if they do hit her, it takes Majestix. 25 points. Like, you know, all these out of these, the worst one is probably Black Widow, because they all have some kind of support power, right? Black Widow's Empower, Black Panther is Outwit, Loki is Prob, she has TK and Outwit. It's just some of those other ones can attack, like Loki can attack, Black Panther can attack somewhat, and Black Widow, not really, but she can poison. This one, she's just straight up pure support, which is what you would really kind of want for 25 points. You don't really want to attack with them unless you absolutely have to. And, you know, in silver, she's just high enough to be able to call in like 20 points or 15-point guys for ID call-ins. So, all right, well, that's the full set review. Finally got through it. Thanks for bearing with me. We can't rest on our laurels, because the Disney Plus set's coming out in a few weeks. We'll be prepared for that, and we'll see what these pieces do in the competitive scene. You know, a lot of the times the fast forces stuff is overlooked, but I believe, you know, pieces like these guys, they're 25 points that do kind of what you want for the support aspect of it, for the points that are for their such low points, it shouldn't be overlooked. Especially, you know, Mystical and Asgardian are like, and Avengers are like big keywords. Now Asgardian's getting bigger and bigger, so maybe that's something to look at too. But all right, well, that's what I got. Let me know what you guys think. I guess see you next time. All right, guys, remember, only bad players win the dice. See you.